So hello, today we're going to talk about the trends of cultivated meat. Cultured cells are being used to produce meat through a process called cell-based or cultured meat production. This technology involves taking a small sample of animal cells, such as muscle cells, and placing them in a nutrient-rich medium that allows them to grow and divide. Over time, the cells form muscle tissue that can be harvested and used to produce meat products. The state-of-the-art of cultured meat production is rapidly advancing, with several companies such as Memphis Meats and Mosa Meat developing and commercializing cultured meat products. So one of the biggest challenges facing cultured meat production is achieving cost competitiveness with traditional meat production. Another challenge is replicating the texture, the flavor, and nutritional content of traditional meat products. Cultured meat is still at the early stages, and researchers are actively working to optimize the process to produce meat that is indistinguishable from conventionally produced meat.
Cultured cells in meat aim to solve several problems related to traditional animal agriculture, such as environmental impact. The traditional animal agriculture is a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, land use, water consumption, and pollution. Therefore, cultured meat production has the potential to significantly reduce these environmental impacts. Moreover, animal welfare. As we all know, traditional animal agriculture involves slaughtering animals, which can result in a welfare issue. Therefore, cultured meat can reduce this problem. Finally, public health can also benefit from cultured meat, as traditional animal agriculture can pose health risks to humans, such as the spread of diseases. Cultured meat production could provide a safer and more controlled environment meat production, reducing the risk of illnesses and other diseases. The development and adoption of cultured cells in meat could impact several industries, including the traditional meat production industries, as cultured meat would provide an alternative source of meat that is more sustainable, ethical, and potentially cost-effective.
It will impact the meat production industry by reducing resource consumption, by increasing overall efficiency, by creating new types of products with better nutritional profiles, for example.
Secondly, the traditional animal agriculture industry could be disturbed as cultured meat would reduce demand for traditional animal agriculture, which would have significant implications for land use, water consumption, etc.
It will also lead to a shift in agricultural practices that could free up land for alternative use. It could also reduce the need for feed crops and impact the production of pesticides.
Another industry that could be impacted is the food processing and distribution industry, since the production and distribution of cultured meat would require a different supply chain and infrastructure compared to traditional meat production.
It will impact the food industry with the development of new food processing technologies such as bioreactors. It could lead to an increased demand for sustainable food products.
And lastly, the biotechnology industry could also be impacted. Logically speaking, the development and scale-up of cultured meat production would require significant advancements in cell culture techniques, tissue engineering, and bioreactor design, which could create new opportunities for companies and researchers in the biotechnology industry.
Cultured cells and meat have gained significant attention in recent years as a potential solution to the environmental and ethical concerns. For this reason, it's likely that the cultured meat industry will continue to grow and become more mainstream over the next 2 years. As technology evolves, the overall production cost of cultured cells and meat will also decrease. The high production cost of cultured meat is one of its major adoption barriers, as it's currently more expensive to create cultured meat than to raise traditional livestock. However, one significant challenge will still remain. As people become more and more concerned about healthy eating habits and try to recover the natural true taste of ingredients, there may be concern about the health implication of cultured meat, even if it becomes more affordable in the next 2 years.
There are some ways in which the growth of cultured meat industry may impact traditional meat in the next 5 years. First of all, consumer demand. The demand for sustainable and ethical food products is growing rapidly, and many customers are turning plant-based and alternative protein sources to reduce the environment impact. On the other side, regarding regulatory environment, as cultured meat is relatively a new technology, regulatory frameworks are still being developed to govern its production and sale. Also, regarding supply chain, the production of cultured meat does not require the same level of infrastructure and resources as conventional meat production, which could allow for more decentralized and localized production. Overall, the growth of cultured meat industry has the potential to significantly disrupt the traditional meat industry over the next years. While it is still a relatively new technology with many uncertainties, it could offer a more sustainable and ethical alternative to traditional meat production that appeals to a growing number of consumers.
The widespread use of cultural beef is anticipated to have a significant effect on the food and beverage industry over the next 10 years, resulting in an increase in supply, a change in customer tastes, the creation of new products, a disruption of conventional food production, and regulatory adjustments. Cultural beef might become more widely available and less expensive, which might cause consumers to start favoring more ethical and ecological goods. Cultural meat production technology may be used to create other culinary items, disrupting established market and inspiring the creation of brand new goods. Regulations may need to be altered as this technology spreads in order to guarantee food safety and stop deception.
Regarding some of the potential benefits that the cultured meat technology could bring to the food and beverage industry is first and foremost, of course, sustainability, as according to research, the production of cultured meat can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 90% and land use by up to 99%. Which would help a lot of the countries achieve their sustainability goals by 2030 and by 2050. Then number 2 would be food security, as the development of cultured meat technology could provide a kind of more secure and sustainable food source for the growing population around the world. And then number 3 would be customization, as the technology behind cultured meat allows kind of for the customization of meat products in terms of taste, texture, but also nutritional content, which is important when considering consumer preferences.
Several key challenges remain in producing cultured meat, including access to cell lines, high raw material costs, and animal source nutrients. It can be costly and time-consuming to develop stem cell lines suitable for cultured meat production, as it requires advanced gene delivery technology. Cell line characterization is not well standardized, which can adversely affect quality control, as there is a higher probability that their genetic content is not stable. As it spreads, growth media needs to be able to supply them with high concentrations of essential nutrients, which is costly. In addition, while cultured meat is marketed as an animal-free meat alternative, in reality its production may still require animal source materials. Furthermore, one main challenge that technology faces is the war for public acceptance. Many don't trust and think of it as fake meat, which in turn also has a negative impact on all of the before mentioned challenges.